When I corrected a teacher's mistake, it turned me into a school legend. It happened in sophomore year, in a beige classroom that always smelled like dry erase markers and burned coffee. I was sitting in the third row during Algebra 2 when Mr. Harlan wrote an equation on the board. I stared at it longer than I probably should have, then felt that little itch in my brain. Something wasn't right. I raised my hand and said, "I think there's an error in step 3. The room went dead quiet. You know that kind of silence where even the vents seem to shut off. Mr. Harlan turned around slowly, like I just questioned his entire life's work. He squinted at me over his glasses. "Excuse me," he said. I pointed at the board. "You dropped a negative sign when you moved the variable." It was a tiny mistake. Happens to everyone. I figured he'd say thanks, fix it, and move on. Instead, he folded his arms and smirked. "If you're so confident, why don't you come up here and solve it for us?" The class collectively went. I could feel my ears burning as I walked to the front. It felt petty, but at that point, backing down would have looked worse. I rewrote the equation, fixed the sign, and solved it clean. Took maybe 2 minutes. When I stepped back, Mr. Harlan leaned in and checked my work. His smile faded just a little. I was right. But did he admit it? Of course not. "Huh," he said. "Lucky guess." Then, quieter, "See me after class." The bell rang. Everyone packed up and shot me. Looks like I just poked a bear. When the room emptied, Mr. Harlan handed me a thick packet. "Extra practice," he said. 20 pages. Due tomorrow. I went home furious and spent 5 straight hours grinding through every problem. Not just solving them, but writing out every step neatly. I even did the optional bonus questions at the end. The next day, I handed it in. Mr. Harlan flipped through it during class with this smug, knowing look. Then he stopped. He flipped back. Then forward again. His eyebrows pulled together. "You didn't do this alone," he said flatly. "Check my work," I replied. That's when things escalated. By lunch, the vice principal had me pulled out of class. They sat me in a conference room with Mr. Harlan and asked me to solve random problems on the whiteboard. No notes. No calculator. I solved them. All of them. When I finished, the vice principal nodded, clearly impressed. Even Mr. Harlan looked different. Not mad. Just recalibrating. Word spread fast. By the end of the week, kids I'd never talked to were asking me to check their homework. People started calling me the negative sign guy. Teachers would joke, "Better be careful or he'll correct us." In calculus the next year, my teacher actually said, "I triple-checked this one because of you." On the last day of school, Mr. Harlan stopped me at the door and handed me a card. Inside it said, "You were right. And you handled it better than I did." That was it. Still the best correction I've ever received.